The earth shuddered under my boots on a crisp April morning in 2024, a low rumble tearing through the quiet of Cedar Hollow, a sprawling ranchland tucked along the rolling plains of western Oklahoma. I dropped my wrench, heart hammering, and sprinted toward the lake at the heart of my 200-acre Willow Bend ranch. Reaching the shore, I froze. There, half sunk in the once tranquil water, was a monstrous military plane, the X-92 Titan, its 60-meter frame sending waves crashing against the muddy banks. Black smoke curled from its engines, a bitter stench of jet fuel stinging my nose. This wasn't just any wreck, it was a classified prototype, and it had turned my sanctuary into a war zone. Before I could process the chaos, a familiar electric whine cut through the air. Brenda Walsh, the 50-year-old HOA president of Willow Creek Estates, roared up in her custom golf cart, blonde hair pristine despite the smoke, her manicured finger jabbing at me. "Jalen Carter, I knew you were trouble," she shrieked, her voice piercing the distant sirens. "First you block our resort plans, now this? You're a danger to us all." I stared, dumbfounded. A military crash, and her first move was to pin it on me? Brenda whipped out her phone, dialing 911 with a gunslinger's speed. "I'm reporting illegal activity at the Carter Ranch," she barked to the dispatcher, her eyes gleaming with triumph. "An explosion, and I suspect the owner's involved in something dangerous. I'm Jalen Carter, 40, a rancher who left Tulsa's corporate grind 6 years ago to honor my father's legacy on this land. Willow Bend was my peace, my proof I could live by my hands and heart. But Brenda, a former corporate lawyer whose career imploded in a 2010 ethics probe, had other plans. She'd been hounding me to sell for a resort development, her HOA empire creeping closer to my fence line. Within minutes, Deputy Nate Ellis, my high school buddy, pulled up, dust swirling. Brenda pounced, demanding my arrest, listing fabricated crimes, illegal experiments, terrorism. Nate's eyes met mine, apologetic but tense. "Jalen, she's been calling daily about you," he muttered, glancing at Brenda rallying HOA residents nearby. "She's got connections." The military arrived, swarming the lake with soldiers in tactical gear, led by Colonel Lucas Hayes, a steely officer who silenced Brenda with a raised hand. "This is a federal operation, ma'am. Clear the area." Brenda's face purpled, but she retreated, muttering to a neighbor, "That rancher's done." Nate pulled me aside. "She's pushing hard, Jalen. Says your land's worth millions for her resort. Be careful." As dusk fell, military investigators cleared me, my security footage proving I had no role in the crash. But Brenda's words echoed as I overheard her boasting to her crowd. "We'll force him to sell, one way or another." This wasn't about safety, it was greed, and she declared war. That night, I ordered a state-of-the-art camera system, vowing to document every move. By morning, Clara Reed, a 32-year-old freelance journalist new to Willow Creek, knocked on my door, clutching a $600 HOA fine for non-compliant roses. "Brenda's out of control," she said, eyes blazing. She was sued 3 years ago for misusing funds, but buried it. Over coffee, we swapped notes. Clara had uncovered Brenda's pattern-finding dissenters, threatening liens, all to enforce her vision of a resort-ready Willow Creek. Brenda's deck, pacing her deck, phone pressed to her ear, caught my eye through the window. I cracked it open, catching fragments. "I've got it handled, this deal's millions he'll crack." My generator died that afternoon, my main power mysteriously cut after Brenda's safety complaint tied to the crash. The power company apologized, citing her influence. By dawn, trash littered my fence line, bags split, HOA letterhead mixed in, drafts smearing me as a threat. I photographed every shred, fury building. Clara called, panicked. "Jalen," my laptop's wiped files, backups, everything. At her house, I found a cyber device on her router, a $12,000 signal booster siphoning power illegally from the grid. Brenda hadn't just targeted us-tired pros. Clara rebuilt her case manually, scouring paper trails, while I found HOA financials on a leaked USB $250,000 siphoned through fake vendors to Brenda's cousin's firm. Neighbor Ellen Tate, a quiet single mom, shared bank statements showing Brenda's inflated contracts, pocketing the difference. "Her Mercedes, her spa trips, it's our money," Ellen said, voice shaking. Brenda's lawsuit hit next, demanding $300,000 for reputational harm from my harassment, claiming my generators disrupted the neighborhood she'd forced into darkness. Her emergency HOA meeting, recorded by Clara, painted me as a menace, showing telephoto shots of my ranch to stoke fear. 2 nights later, my fence was smashed, cattle escaping. My cameras caught the licensed Platia Brenda loyalist from the meeting. Rounding up cows in the dark, I helped 2 stranded soldiers fix their truck's engine, earning a nod from Colonel Hayes. That plane had cameras rolling till it hit, he said. We're analyzing. My pulse quickened. Those cameras could expose Brenda's schemes. I offered Hayes my ranch equipment and lake knowledge to aid the recovery, building trust. Your evidence raises red flags, he said, eyeing the cyber device. This text linked to national security cases. Clara recorded Brenda at a diner, admitting to inflating crash dangers and diverting HOA funds for legal fees. Once we get his land, values skyrocket, she bragged. I'll take my 15% cut. Ellen's records confirmed $250,000 stolen over 6 years, masked as administrative costs. I found my ranch's access road crossed a family-owned strip with a 1950s easement, revocable if the HOA pursued commercial use. Brenda's resort plan violated it, giving me leverage to block her supporters. At the Willow Creek Fair, Clara asked about HOA transparency, prompting Brenda's rehearsed defense. I played her diner confession over a speaker, stunning the crowd. Brenda countered with a grainy photo, claiming I'd threatened a child, her ally Laura Wells sobbing about her traumatized daughter. The crowd turned, parents glaring, until Ellen noted a fallen tree in the photo down months ago, proving it was staged. Brenda's victory faltered, but she doubled down, accusing Clara of stealing HOA files. Nate questioned me for 7 hours, Brenda's lawyers claiming the audio was fake. Clara's laptop wipe was traced to the cyber device, a federal crime. Ellen rallied residents, uncovering Brenda's fake invoices. I blocked the HOA's access road with a timber accident, legal under the easement, stranding Brenda's allies for her hearing. Inside, Ellen exposed $250,000 in theft. Clara revealed the cyber device, and I showed vandalism footage. Colonel Hayes entered, uniform commanding silence. This footage is declassified due to criminal implications, he said, playing X92 clips. Brenda met a developer days before the crash, plotting. I'll make Carter beg to sell $20 million, my 15%. Another clip debunked Laura's Lieno child, just me freeing a calf. Brenda bribed Laura. Stick to the story, $6,000 more post-hearing. The final clip showed Brenda's false federal claims for crash relief funds. These are federal crimes, Hayes said. Officers arrested Brenda for embezzlement, fraud, and cyber terrorism, her screams echoing as she was cuffed. The HOA dissolved, its charter revoked. 3 weeks later, I stood by my lake. The wreck cleared, water calm under a May sunset. Residents lit lanterns, thanking me. Ellen, tears shining, said, "You saved us." Clara, drafting her book, vowed to tell the story. Colonel Hayes offered a military consulting gig, but I stayed for the ranch. The lanterns floated, reflecting a free Willow Creek. Brenda faced 15 years, her cousin 10, their assets seized, funds returned to residents. Cedar Hollow breathed easier, new governance transparent, my road easement a shield against resorts. The lake, once a battleground, mirrored peace, proof that truth could crash through lies like a plane through water. Was Jalen's roadblock justice or manipulation? Should Brenda's punishment be lighter or harsher? Can Willow Creek stay free, or will new Brenda's rise? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for stories that demand your stand.